Hello and welcome to another update video about gold. We're going to cover the longer time frame chart quickly, and then we zoom in into the latest price action because we have seen a bit of a sell-off over the last week or two, and silver already made a new low, so gold might follow, and we take a look at what that means and what needs to happen. So with the gold price, you can see here that we overall, and this chart shows the gold futures, by the way. And if we analyze them, we can see that this here was wave one. It was 1979, so it's a really ultra long-term chart here. We came down in a wave two in basically 99. We then moved up in a 3, we came down in a 4, and we're now in this fifth wave. Within the fifth wave, we have seen so far 4 waves, in my opinion. We've seen a wave 1, we've seen a wave 2, we've seen a wave 3. We are now in the 4, maybe already complete. And then there will be one more leg up. What I can tell you already, when that leg up is done, we're going to see a massive correction. Okay, now that can take years to play out, and we talk about that in a minute as well. Now if we zoom in, go to the 1 hour chart, or let's go to the 4 hour actually. On the 4 hour chart, now I need to go to the daily. Let's go to the daily here. Yeah, on the daily chart you can see this is the wave 4 that's currently playing out here. Wave A, wave B. Yeah. Up here we talked about this upcoming correction into the region between, I believe it was 1700 to 1600 roughly, and we reached it. Yeah, we reached it. When we came into this area, we reversed to the upside impulsively. So we could consider the correction in this wave 4 to be complete, and we zoom in a minute. But overall, what you need to understand that this wave 4 correction already started in 2020. So it's been lasting 2 years. Okay. In the next step afterwards, we would expect to rally up in a wave 5. That could take us to $2,500 and above. But again, after this, we should expect a very large correction. So zooming in now, and now we can go to the 4 hour chart. You can see a few things. So we came down in this C wave. We reached my target area. Yeah, we touched it basically. I think originally it was a bit higher. I reduced it down as we obviously came into it and reversed out of it. But this is the area where we still have to expect the gold price or gold to get into again to finish off the correction, because we are coming down very strongly. So before we analyze the short time frame here, if we make another lower low, we could stretch out all the way down to 1605. Yeah, $1,605. If we go below this, we have to expect a much larger correction that could make us retest $1,000, and maybe we'll even get a 3-digit gold price. How is that possible? It is all based on the Fibonacci retracements for this wave 4. Yeah, so for any new viewer here, if we measure the retracements, well, the wave 3 retracement basically for the wave 4, you can see that this $1,600 level, plus minus a few dollars, doesn't really matter, is the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. If we go below this level, we would just reasonably have to assume it's not a wave 4 anymore that is happening here. Yeah, there are a few possibilities that can then unfold, but we have to then consider that this might have already been a very short wave 5, that this has already played out, that we're getting all of this corrected. Yeah, and depending on how this then plays out, it could very well be that we're going to see a 3-digit gold price, because the entire movement that I showed you in the beginning is getting corrected. That this sort of super cycle is finished and we're going to come down. Yeah, this would come into force below $1,600. Now I'm not talking about a wick on the intraday chart below that level. I'm talking about maybe getting a few daily closes below that level, maybe even a weekly close, and then warning. Okay. But this is not my primary expectation, very clearly. So if we go lower than the previous swing low here from a couple of weeks ago, we would have to assume that we will find support somewhere in here. There was one key level in this region at 1638, and below that level, obviously the $1,605 level, 1600 maybe. Yeah. But why is this possible? What is this likely? So when we started to move up here, I said we have to consider now that the low is in with a 60% probability. Obviously, this shows you that it was still uncertain, because the bearish scenario that the low wasn't in still had a 40% probability. So at any point in time, it was needed to expect still lower lows. Because we don't know, if this pattern is going to play out. We had an impulse to the upside with admittedly a weak wave 5. We missed, I think, the target range by a couple of dollars, which annoyed me, which again, because the wave 5 wasn't very strong here, might have already pointed towards lower lows that are happening. But overall, we could count this as an impulse. 5 waves had a few reversal areas that were reached here. And then we talked about the upcoming correction. I think that warning came just in time. Obviously, when a correction starts, we never know, will it be just a short correction, or will it be a strong one? So here for gold, we expected a wave 2 correction anyway to happen, with a 5-wave move up, and then here a wave 2 to the downside. So we talked about that in the last few videos. The wave 2 correction would reasonably finish in the region between 1750 and 1710. And that is between certain Fibonacci retracement levels. If we drop below these levels, it's getting very tough. You can see we reclaimed back actually that lower level. But what are these levels? So you've got here the area between the 78.6% Fib level at 1710 and the 50% level at 1752. The wave 2 is normally, the minimum retracement for a wave 2 is normally the 0.5 Fib level. Broken. So we come down lower, lower, lower. And now we're at a key juncture here. The 78.6% Fib level is a key level. If we're not holding this and take away, I would have to increase the probabilities for the bearish scenario. If we then drop below the 88.7% Fib level as well, I think we have to consider the bullish scenario done, and we are going to get and see lower lows. Because the point is, if you drop below the 88.7% Fib level, that can still be a wave 2 retracement. It would though be really maxing out what a wave 2 can do. If we drop below this, it just indicates that we are going to retest the 1679 level as well, and we're going to fail. This is often what happens if you're going below the 88.7 level. I mean, I've just extended this range area here just to indicate that we still have a chance to reverse above 1695 or 1696. But if we lose this, expect a lower low. It is just what it is. The gold price then gold was not able to sustain the bullish move that started here. And to be fair, if you look at this, we're coming down quite strongly. So it's getting really difficult for gold to maintain the bullish case now. And again, the key level to watch out for here is 1969. If we lose that, we're probably going to see 1679 and also lose it. And then we're basically constrained by this yellow area. We would then have to assume that we will make a lower low somewhere here. Either at ideal levels in this area. I mean, we can reverse anywhere in this area really, but the ideal levels are 1637 and then 1605. A drop below that level would lead to much stronger sell-offs because we're basically moving into a completely different scenario. And this is basically in a nutshell the gold price. So unless gold now rallies to the upside, and what it needs to do, it needs to break above this level here, 1778, to get back into the bullish scenario. If it doesn't do that quickly, it will obviously go lower and lose all these levels, and we are entering the alternative wave B case, wave 4 not finished case, and we'll see lower levels. And that is currently what we're dealing with here. I would then expect it to finish here. That's the new expectation then, that we really lose the 1605 level. That would be, to be honest, quite a bit of a disaster for the gold price generally in the gold market. Because as I said, we could then without a problem go to a 3-digit gold price. But we'll take that, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, this is not my primary expectation. Okay, and that's my update about gold. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then also check out my main channel, More Crypto Online. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.